nothing, I think, is the message at the start of this game. But we are really looking forward to see how this one pans out. An All-Ireland quarter-final, Tyrone against Cork in Ballinasloe. And it's Orla Finn, as we say, an all-star corner forward. But there she is, back in defence already with Niamh Cotter, who came into the game late. And they get it up to Emer Scally. Back to Cotter, and she will indeed play in that sort of role where she links an awful lot of play. And this is where Ciara O'Sullivan likes to play, start deep, and she likes to interpass and get through the middle. And this is Cork playing in the first few minutes with certainly a little bit of urgency, and it looks like they were stung from last week's game, and they are out to make sure that they re-establish themselves. Okay, they didn't go out last week, of course. It was a defeat, but it wasn't the end of the world, but it certainly stung them. We'll see what sort of reaction that we get today. It's a little bit of a quiet atmosphere, as if everyone's not sure what's going to happen. It's also a smaller crowd than we actually had for the All-Ireland Minor B final before this. But I'm sure there'll be plenty of people around the country and around the world watching this one to see how it goes. And can this young Tyrone team upset Cork, who lost last week to Armagh? Surely they couldn't lose 2 years in a row. But here comes Aoibhinn McHugh from Ahiarn for Tyrone, and she goes all the way through. And is she going to put the ball in the net? The referee blows for, I think, a push. She does indeed. But a promising start there for Tyrone, and they're really going at Cork right from the start, Emer.
Yeah, like I suppose, looking at the game last week, Cork struggled right down the centre. They, you could see there another attack. Ria Caravan, centre forward, won the ball, and then they drove forward, running off the shoulder. So, they're really going to have to tighten up on that, get through today and going forward. But Tyrone are settling into this, and, there's no easy balls.
Now it's Cork playing into the wind, and it's Emer Scally with a nice turn of pace and the blue boots as she goes forward and goes into Niamh Woods, but the referee calls it back because there was no advantage, so there was a free. And Doireann O'Sullivan, the Cork captain, who was a late starter for them, gets it back to Mara O'Callaghan, gets it to Farmer, to Doireann O'Sullivan again, looks for Niamh Cotter, one of the three late changes. She looks like she's going to go for a point, but instead slips the ball to Ciara O'Sullivan, and Ciara goes right, she goes left, she goes through Tyrone players as if they're not there. She goes on her left foot, and she puts it just wide, and that looked to be a trademark Ciara O'Sullivan effort, but she didn't manage to hit the target. And just passing in front of me now, I see the Galway manager. He's here, Tim Rabbit, to keep an eye on things, and is looking to see, as most people are around the country and around the world, to see how this one goes. Can Tyrone upset Cork? A very interesting Emer. I saw Orla Finn a minute ago there, back deep in the Cork defence, interpassing with Hannah Looney, the full-back. It seems like nearly every game she ends up going further and further back. She has a big role in this team, but does not just stay up in the forwards. And it's Cork again coming forwards. They are playing, as I say, into the wind, and a foul there means that will be an opportunity for Cork to take the lead. Emer.
Yeah, Ciara O'Sullivan there was an unlucky shot, just skimmed right, but she cut right through the centre of the Tyrone defence. She's such a super player for Cork. I believe that last week she was the one that was really kind of, trying to drive them on and, get them going. The Cork leaders need to stand up and, help her out today, but, she will be one to watch.
Orla Finn gets his first score of the game in the 4th minute. It's Cork 1 point, Tyrone no score. The kick out from Shannon Lynch, and she gets plenty of distance on it with the wind behind her, of course, but Cork pick up the scraps. And there's plenty of room in this near side for Orla Finn, and that's who they are aiming at, and they pick her out very well to Cotter. Cotter will look for a little bit of support, but a few Cork players run into each other, but Scally still manages to get it, and Cotter has ended up on the ground. It's gone over to the far side now where O'Sullivan is there, and she will try to get the first score from play, and it's gone wide. We're looking out of our gazebo here, which is trying to protect us from the elements. The wind thankfully has dropped a little bit, but earlier on, in case you missed the highlight of the first game, the gazebo nearly collapsed on us in the commentary point, but things have settled down a little bit. Now Tyrone trying to get the first score of the game. They are on the attack. Emma Brennan from Trillick, same club as Sarah and Marie Donnelly, who we had on the programme a little while ago and who won a World Games medal yesterday in Croke Park, and who did the damage against Cork in that famous game 9 years ago. Can Tyrone get their first score? That looks like their first score of the game indeed, and it has gone over the bar. It's 1 point each, and I think it was Chloe McCaffrey,
Yeah.
15. Yes, indeed. Chloe McCaffrey from St. McCartn's. So that'll do Tyrone a lot of good. That'll settle them down 1 point each, and that is the first score of the game from play. Hannah Looney gets it out to Aisling Hutchins from the Fermoy club, and she shows a bit of pace on the stand side. And as always, one of the O'Sullivan sisters is there to give support. Darren is there, and Kira, now Neve Cotter, plays it low down to the corner to Libby Coppinger, who started very brightly. She's shown a nice turn of pace, and here she goes, and once she go all the way for goal, she goes through certainly and puts it wide to the left, and Aoife Fitzgerald will not be happy with these wasted chances. But Cork have started pretty well, even though it's 1 point each. They have been getting through. They could have had a goal, they could have had a couple of points, and they're certainly playing well into the wind. Tyrone will try to break out, and here comes Niamh McGurr from the St. McCartn's club. Gets a Tori McLaughlin from Strabane Sigersons up into the full forward area where Maeve Mallon is there. She has started instead of Caitlin Kelly. That's the one change in the Tyrone team, and there is an effort from distance from Chloe McCaffrey, and what a brilliant effort it is. Her second point of the game. That's a fantastic score. Now the wind was behind her, but still, you have to give credit there. That's a brilliant score on Tyrone, 2 points to 1 ahead.
Yeah, like excellent movement from the forwards. You know, the direct ball, that was Tori McLaughlin giving a ball in, let's say, and then the runners off the shoulder, like they're obviously, Jerry Moan has done serious work with that kind of play, you know, that they're running off and supporting each other, because that was an excellent score there by Chloe McCaffrey.
Well, the message for them will be, look, you're as good as these girls. You're coming through. You're an up-and-coming team, and you can do it. You beat Donegal. Why not beat Cork? But here comes Melissa Duggan to try and counter that, and she offloads the ball to Darren O'Sullivan, to Coppinger, to Scally, and Scally will go for her score. It's perfect for the right foot. She judges it brilliantly, and that is a point for Cork. They are back on level terms. It's 2 points each in Ballinasloe after 7 minutes in this TG Cahir All-Ireland Championship, Senior Championship quarter-final. And it's Shannon Lynch, the Tyrone goalkeeper, and she looks for Niamh Woods and finds her. Christiane Hunter takes the ball on, and she sees a lot of red shirts in front of her, so she tries to go back, but over carries, and Niamh Cotter grabs the ball, and she looks for Emer Scally, and Emer finds a little bit of room, and she looks up and finds Darren O'Sullivan. It's all a little bit easy at this stage, but that was easily blocked as well. Darren O'Sullivan blocked down by Joanne Barrett from the Drumragh club, same club as the Tyrone captain Niamh Woods, just outside Omagh. Emma Jane Gervin is turned over. Darren O'Sullivan now slips it to her sister Kira, and she will look to give it out to Myra O'Callaghan, who's got in behind her. Could be a goal on here for Cork, but instead she is blown up for overcarrying, and Emer, from what we've seen so far, this is a very even contest.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question that of Tyrone being an intermediate side, a second division side, anything like that. They're certainly holding their own as Orla Finn puts one in towards the goals, but it doesn't have the distance. We saw in the minor B final before this that a few chances like that, a few efforts like that drops short because of the wind, and maybe it's not quite the scoring goals, so they'll have to watch that. Sorry, Emer, I'll bring you in again in a second, but this is a very fast-paced game. A lovely ball into the forwards there. I think that's O'Neill. Yeah, that's Niamh O'Neill from Sperrin Oak, number 13. Very dangerous forward from Tyrone. Moves onto her left foot, drops it into the danger area, but well done, Martina O'Brien there. Brilliant goalkeeping.
Yeah, like what you just see, like Niamh O'Neill just came up short there with that effort. But what you have to look at, like with Tyrone, they've such a good range of scorers, or girls with the ability to score. You know, they had up on 6-7 scores in the last game.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. No, not at all. And even back in defence there, you know, there was ball turned over there. Slade Carroll got turned over. Maybe just took too much time on it, and you suddenly had two Cork in on top of you. But their ability to get back and defend is really good there. It's doing them good. Hopefully they'll hold out.
Cork are spilling quite a lot as well, as we see here again. Oh, but hold on, here's a goal chance. This could be the first goal of the game, and indeed Emer Scally has finished it to the net. Deadly Cork in the first 10 minutes of this game. They have made the first real break in the game. Scally has found the net for Cork.
Yeah, well, you could kind of see it coming. They've been threatening scores. Scally seems to be on her game today, and a well-worked ball just palmed into the back of the net. But
just as we were praising Tyrone in the way they
Yes.
have started this game, as that ball goes over the end line, and it's going to be a Tyrone ball, but they seem to have been, so we say, boosted by the victory over Donegal last week. So this is going to be a big test for them now. We're going to see how they respond to that early goal. But certainly so far they look like they've been holding their own, and it just looked like Cork were actually struggling a little bit, and they're looking to see if they were going to be able to up their game. And so that goal has given them a little bit of a lift, and we'll see how Tyrone respond. Now this is Brennan. Brennan plays it deep into the forwards, and Tyrone have done that a few times. They like playing that direct ball, and it seems to be paying off. That's a lovely ball over to Emma-Jane Girvan. There's a chance, and that looks like it's going to, is it dropping short? No, it's dropping over the bar, and that's a fine point and a really good response by Aoibhinn McHugh and by Tyrone.
Yeah, another cross, direct ball in, and they look up, right, ping the ball across to Aoibhinn McHugh coming in, and another great score by Aoibhinn McHugh. I can see Melissa Duggan seems to be picking up Maria Canavan there around the middle, and she's a really good player, looking for the quick balls, and she'll have her work cut out today to keep her quiet.
Niamh Cotter now for Cork in a little bit of space in behind, and she looks like she's intent on going towards goal and taking her own score, but it's blocked down, and that's good work by Tyrone. The referee calls for the ball for the 45, but an interesting contrast in the styles here, because Tyrone playing that direct ball, that quick ball, and trying to get up, whereas Cork play the ball through the hands. You could have 10, 12, 15 passes before they create a score.
Yeah, I suppose it's probably not a style that Cork have came up against an awful lot here, that playing with abandonment, the balls that are like it's really going to test out all of the Cork backs there, because, like you said, all of these Tyrone forwards are well able to score, and the link play is super, so, it'll really test their defence.
And here comes Coppinger again. She had a hand in the goal earlier on, and she's looked really lively. She gets the ball out, and it ends just to the left, I think, and that's 3 or 4 wides that Cork have had all on that side, and they also had the goal chance that went wide on the other side. So Cork could have been further ahead, but as it is, there's one score in it, and it is that goal from Emer Scally that is the difference after nearly 12 and a half minutes of this game. But Tyrone well in the contest. They have a bit of a wind advantage, but they certainly have no inferiority complex. And there's Sonia McCarroll on an excellent run. She's from the St. McCartn's club. She's been bottled up now, though. She was looking for a bit of support. It didn't come, and Melissa Duggan, always so fast to break. She gets it to Scally, and Duggan is there if needed. But Scally is weighing up her options and looking to see what is ahead of her. And she indeed gives it to Duggan, and Duggan got a goal in the league semi-final, famously. She looked like she might be looking for another one there, but it comes back to Scally from Finn, and she comes all the way back to Farmer, and Farmer spreads it to Ciara O'Sullivan, and she now has a chance. And this is what I was saying, they take a lot of passes before creating a scoring opportunity, but again it's gone left to and gone wide to the left hand side. So after 13 minutes, it's 1, 2, 3, 2 points in it, rather. I said there's 3 in it, there's 2 in it, because Tyrone came back and responded to that goal. But here comes Darren O'Sullivan, and she's turned over the Tyrone defenders, but now she's been turned over herself, and Tori McLaughlin will come away with the ball. And it's one of those games where it's been played at a fast pace, but it hasn't really come to life as yet. There is a free for Tyrone for that foul on Niamh Mallon from the Arua club, and the free will be taken by Emma-Jane Girvan from the same club. Now she's looking for a bit of movement. There's nobody making a move at all now. There's 2 or 3 coming towards her. And the Cork defenders are marking extremely well, you have to say as well, though the referee has spotted an infringement, and I think it's another free for Tyrone a little bit closer in.
Yeah, lucky there on Moira O'Callaghan. She, was really tightly marking, and Niamh Monaghan just seemed to get pushed over, but to Tyrone's luck, they've got a free. Is it scoreable? Probably a bit too far out, but I'm sure Maria Canavan will have a go at it.
Yeah, she's really, really good from the free. Sometimes she puts it on the ground. This time she's going to take it out of her hands. She does with a little bit of wind behind her. The wind has died down, but whatever is there will be behind her, and she looks like she's going to have a go at it. So Maria Canavan, it's going to the left, but it's going into the danger area, and it's well dealt with by Cork. One of the Tyrone players protesting to the referee, but Orla Finn now picks it up deep in the defensive area, and Shauna Kelly gets it to Melissa Duggan, but she finds a strong challenge coming in, and Tyrone have turned it over, but they're giving it straight back to Cork. We are now a quarter of the way through the game. There's just a couple of points in it. Tyrone, the All-Ireland Intermediate champions from last year, working the ball through the hands. They get it to Chloe McCaffrey, who's taken a couple of fantastic scores early in this game. Maria Canavan, who hasn't had as much of an impact as she would usually have, but Cork have done their homework. They would have watched, of course, Donegal's the defeat over Donegal last week. Cork have turned over again, and Tyrone will be disappointed at that. They're not making much headway unless they move it really quickly. Now Scally, talking about quickly, a real nice quick turn of pace as we always expect from Emer, and she gets the ball out to Darren O'Sullivan, and a nice drop of the shoulder. She goes onto her right foot, and surely she will put that over. And the decision is indeed a point. Really good score from Darren O'Sullivan, the captain, starting the game today. So after 16 minutes, it's 1-3-3. We're back to a 3-point game. And here comes Ciara O'Sullivan now, Darren's sister. She's on her right foot, turns on to her left, looks for a little bit of support. Comes all the way back to Niamh Cotter, and she shoots from distance. Gets plenty of height and has it curled in over the bar. It has indeed. Niamh Cotter, always good for a point. And herself and Darren started the game today after not being named in the starting lineup, but they have both scored a point within 30 seconds.
Yeah, great score by Niamh Cotter. Like I said, she's always good for a score like that. And I think, she's been really, although she's been out maybe the last game or two, she's, a really important player for Cork around the centre there, even in the half forward line. She's versatile, she'll track up and down. So
talking about tracking up and down, Orla Finn back there to intercept from the corner forward and getting the ball to Niamh Cotter and getting it across the pitch to Melissa Duggan. And Cork really now getting into the groove. Shauna Kelly getting it up to Emer Kiley, and Emer Kiley now will go for a point as well. And it drops. Is that into the net? I think it has dropped into the net. That's very unfortunate for Tyrone, but it's a goal for Emer Kiley. And all three late changes have scored in the last 2 minutes for Cork, and all of a sudden they have gone from being 2 points up to being 7 points up. It's 2-4 for Cork, just 3 points for Tyrone.
Yeah, there's obviously still an awful lot of fight for places on the Cork team, but all three girls, great scores there. It'll be hard to make going forward or even making any changes there.
And Niamh McGurn, number 7 for Tyrone, was trying to do something about it, but again their attack has come to nothing. And it's Cork looking the team with their tails up, and they are looking more dangerous. And Cotter is there yet again. She has made such a difference. And Scally is always there to take it and inject a little bit of pace. And it's all Cork at the minute, and you would fear for Tyrone at this point because they have gone significantly behind. And Finn now has found her range as well, and it's all about the Rebels right now. They are leading 2-5 to 3 points after 18 minutes.
Yeah, great scores, like we talked about, Tyrone having a good ability of forwards that can score, but likewise, Cork are really coming into form there. Tyrone need to, I suppose, keep trying to hassle. They've held them there for a while, maybe in the first 10-12 minutes, but I'm sure if they keep fighting hard, they'll be thereabouts hopefully by half time. But you'd love to see them get a score or two.
And that's Maria Canavan now trying to get the ball onto her favourite left foot, but she only sees red shirts in front of her because Cork are working extremely hard. Now Niamh Woods, the Tyrone captain, tries to get an attack going, but Cork are so good at nipping in and stealing the ball. Emma Brennan over on the far side from us, and Tyrone's passes are just not finding the targets, and Cork are nipping in all of the time, and they are starting to punish Tyrone with scores at the other end, because they have now gone into a 2-5 to 3 points lead. That's 11-3, 8 points in it all of a sudden, really, in the space of about 3 or 4 minutes. And this sort of passing is much smoother than Tyrone have been able to manage. And now Scally goes for a score, and she is playing in a very determined way and has kicked that one to the left. I can't quite see it from where I am sitting, but yeah, it's gone wide again on that side. But Cork are certainly on top and playing extremely well this point, and this is what Aoife Fitzgerald would have wanted after last week's surprise defeat against Armagh. This is more like them. It was even Stephen for the first 10 minutes or so, but Cork now have really made a break for glory and for a place in the All-Ireland semi-finals. In Tyrone, yet again, there are just not finding their players.
Yeah, look, you can see that the Cork players, every one of them, the attacker or say defenders bombing forward. You saw Niamh Cotter was just in on the nearly in on the square there, only for Scally's ball just went wide. She could have nearly got her hands of it, but you can see that the hunger in Cork now, just being really apparent. Like that game last week has got to hit them hard, and I'm sure they're going to want to make sure every ball counts.
And they seem to have a lot of time in the ball. Niamh Cotter with her head up, looking for movement. It's not there, or rather, it's been good marking from Tyrone, so she just takes the time and goes back. Shauna Kelly gives it to her again, and she really is a great playmaker. And Niamh Cotter, they've missed her, but she's making a big difference today. Coppinger now offloads it to Ciara O'Sullivan, and she gets in behind, and she goes for goal again. And Emer Scally has got her second goal of the game. Now the referee is going in to see if it's a square ball. She's already palmed one ball to the net for a goal, and the referee is going in to see if that one can be allowed or not. He's having a good conversation, shall we say. They seem pretty definite, whatever it is, and he says no goal. And that keeps the game alive a little bit, because that would have killed it if that had been another goal for Cork. They have had a fabulous 10 minutes, Emer.
Yeah, like really quick hands there. You see Ciara O'Sullivan again at the heart of it. Kick it to left, bringing it back, and then popping across to Scally, and nearly an identical goal to the one that was scored at the start. Was it a square ball? Obviously, the linesman or the umpires saw it to be, but I'm sure Scally will feel very hard done by in that regard, in that instance.
A lot of slick passing from Cork, and Tyrone just look a little bit shell shocked at the minute. They're getting the ball, but look at the pressure that's been exerted on them. And Maria Canavan there was being marked by O'Callaghan, and now I see off camera Orla Finn. I do mention her a lot going back, but I just find it interesting to see that she defends so deeply, and she's nearly the last defender as Tyrone go for a score and put it wide, and Tyrone just not making any headway. And if you look up the pitch, there are so many red shirts. In fact, down at this end where we are, there are only two Cork players really inside the 45. And Niamh Cotter now making it more, but hold on, Tyrone have a chance now. They could go for goal now, and they've got one back all of a sudden out of the blue, and that's a goal, I think, for Maeve Mallon, who started the game today. And that is really what Tyrone needed. They have had a little bit of a gift there. 2-5 to 1-3 after 23 minutes. Could have been even further ahead at one end, but instead they've got a goal back.
Yeah, I just missed the actual. I was just keeping an eye on the movements of the
I wasn't
backs.
expecting it either.
No,
and it was,
so
what happened there?
Down.
But it looked like a little bit of a mix-up, but Tyrone needed a way back into the game, and they found it. And there's two players down at the minute, so it's going to be a little bit of a break. And their manager will be trying to get word on now. Okay, you've got a goal, settle it down, get us through to half-time.
Yeah, in fairness to them, like you could see Melissa Duggan looking for it. It obviously was a breakdown in the Cork defence, but credit to the Tyrone forwards. They are putting huge pressure on the Cork backs when they're say for kickouts and that, and not trying to stop that quick kick out coming. So opportunistic chance, and really well put away there by Maeve Mallon.
5 points in it. 2-5 to 1-3. That is 11-6. But you know what? It could have been a lot more, because it could have been 3-5 to 1-3. But Cork had the goal disallowed. So we still have game on, which for the neutrals will be preferable. There's Niamh Cotter in the shot with Niamh McGurr from Tyrone. And they're waiting because there is a hold-up, because there were two players involved in a collision there. So after 24 minutes here, the Tyrone captain, Niamh Woods, wearing 10, will be a little bit concerned at the scoreline, but she will be also a little bit relieved that they're not further behind after Cork really blitzed Tyrone there for about 10 minutes off the game in this TG Cahir All-Ireland Senior Championship quarter-final. It is Cork 2-5, Tyrone 1-3. Emer Flaherty, the former Galway player, is with me, and we're picking out Orla Finn there in the picture. Emer, she has worked so hard.
Yeah, she's a huge work rate, tracking up and down, like you said there. She was right back in the Cork defence, helping out. And you still had, let's say, the likes of Emer Scally, Darren and Ciara up front. So, they seem to work really well like that, just alternating at times. She's here on the wing. She scored from over the far side. She scored what today? Just say, was it 1 for 3 and but you know, you can still see like the how many scores, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scores. So you know, Cork just real poachers for scores there, and Finn always at the heart of it.
Emer Scally got the first goal, nearly got another goal as well, but was denied that by the umpires and the referee. But Cork certainly been on fire for about 10 minutes, and we thought it was nearly game over. But it's not. It's 2-5 to 1-3. Tyrone are still in this game, and after their victory over Donegal last week, they will feel that there's more in the tank, and if they can get in at half time, they will feel that there could be a big second half in them, though they will be playing against the wind in the second half. And it did pick up a lot in the earlier game in the All-Ireland Minor B final, which was a super game. I hope you enjoyed it on the live stream. If you didn't, you can go back and watch it on there, because it was very entertaining. Longford won it against poor Roscommon. They've lost a couple of finals now, but Longford did deserve it. Really interesting game. They came back. Well, Longford was 7 points up at half time. Then they went 1 point down, and then they finished strongly with a penalty and a few scores to win it. Really good game, and it shows the talent that is out there, the quality that is out there, the rising standard of the game at B level across the country, and great work that's been done in Longford and Roscommon, because Longford won the All-Ireland Under-16 B final last week, and they've made it a unique double by winning the Minor B this week, so fair play to them. But back with this senior game, it looks like we might be restarting in the next minute or so. The Tyrone player is up on her feet, and it is Slim McCarroll from St. McCartans, and she has indeed recovered and is able to play on. The ball is with Myra O'Callaghan, number 8 for Cork, and she will get us restarted. The referee Jerry Connolly is just waiting for everyone to leave the pitch who should not be there, and now O'Callaghan slips it to Duggan, but she drops the ball, and she is being pursued by Malin. Duggan offloads it, and as always, Cork have players coming off the shoulder at pace, and it's Shauna Kelly on this occasion. She's been faced by Gervin, so she comes back, but there's always somebody back there as well, and Cork have been playing like that all of this game. They've really been out, as Emer said earlier, with a point to prove after last week's defeat to Armagh. Now, it didn't really cost them, but it will have stung them. Orla Farmer, and they're just moving the ball along the line, almost rugby style, and waiting to try and break through. 24 is Emer Kiley, who was a late starter from Valley Rovers Club. Her twin sister is in the subs, Darren. Now Niamh Cotter, she's another of the late starters who made such a difference. And Duggan now injects pace, and Finn. They're going right across the pitch again. As I said, Emer, very almost like rugby style. They've gone over and back, and they haven't been able to break through. Niamh Cotter now has got the ball, and she will try and find somebody and break through. Usually they try to find Ciara O'Sullivan or someone like that, but they haven't done it, and Tyrone have been very patient and defended well, Emer.
Yeah, they have. Now you have to look at, there's maybe Maeve Mallon, I think is the only one on the Tyrone half the pitch there. There was 13 players behind the ball. You know, Cork had no option but to be patient, but just turned over in the end. So now Tyrone have to, I suppose, on counter-attack, break and make something of it the far side.
Well, they're managing to do that. They've got it in to the forwards, and they've still got possession. It comes back to Woods from Malin, and they're patiently building, a little bit like Cork. Canavan looked like she might have a go, and she looked like she might be blown for overcarrying, and instead Orla Finn is all the way back there yet again to intercept, and it's Cork who will break, because there is now a big space in front of Emer Scally. She is being pursued, but she just steadies the ship and brings it back to Finn, to Darren O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan drops it, gets it again, looks for a bit of support, and it's there from Farmer. She offloads to her right hand side. Ciara O'Sullivan will go for a score at the end of that long move, but it has gone to the left and wide again, and Cork have actually been quite wasteful.
Yeah, there's a lot of balls have gone astray just to the left of the goal. If we're looking there, you know, it's a few off the boot of Ciara, but yet again you see Orla Finn breaking it down. Scally was back there. Hutchins was inside this time, or Coppinger was inside this occasion, but you know, another breakdown. They need to, I suppose, looking forward, whoever comes out of this playing either Dublin or Kerry in the semi-final, you've got to make the most of these chances. They won't be allowed to make mistakes like that against in the semi.
Scally into Coppinger for Cork. Back to Scally. She'll have a go at that, surely. No, she looks for the ball inside, and Cotter's there on her left foot. Brilliant goal by Niamh Cotter. Great finish by the player who is just back after a hand injury. She's made such an impact today. All the way through the first half, she's been one of the best players in the half, and she ensures that Cork finish in style at the end of this half. We're in added time at the end of the first half, and it's now Cork 3-5, Tyrone 1-3, and that could be a very important score.
Excellent score. Neve Cotter just another player, just such work rate, ends up where she needs to be at the end of a move, and just slots the ball away so effortlessly in behind Shannon Lynch. So now they're pushing ahead at this case.
Emma Brennan. That is going to go straight to Melissa Duggan, so the pressure will come back on Tyrone. It's a bit of an eerie atmosphere. It's a little bit strange here in Ballinasloe. But Cork are certainly on fire. They've 3 goals in this first half, and the captain, Darren O'Sullivan, has fired over another point. 31 minutes gone, and they now make it 3-6 to 1-3, and it's looking ominous for Tyrone, because that is now a 9-point difference. And Cork have also had a goal disallowed, and they have had a very near thing from Ciara O'Sullivan early on, so they could have had 5 or 6 goals in this half. As it is, they have 3, and they are well ahead as we approach half-time. Tyrone are looking to see where they can go to try and get out, because their kickouts have been going over the end line because Cork have been putting so much pressure on them, and indeed they turned that one over as well. 3 Cork players around the Tyrone player, Hunter, and they hunted down Hunter and got the ball from her. And Tyrone just cannot stop this. The pressure is relentless, but the referee comes to the rescue a little bit there and gives a free. It's actually free from Cork, so it's not relieving the pressure at all, is it? Or is it RZ drawn for half time? I don't think so. But anyway, it's a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a respite here. Yes, Finn is coming over to take the ball, so it is a free for Cork. Instead of going for her score, she has a little bit of support from Aisling Hutchins and gets the ball back to Cotter. And Cotter goes for the score from distance. Now that won't make it. It drops short, but it is also dropped by the goalkeeper. And what a performance by Cotter in this half.
Yeah, look, she's just covering all around the forward. She seems to be, playing that forward role. Maybe she's, having just been back, just avoiding the same midfield, but she seems to be covering around there and is well able to take her scores. Having 1-3 on the score sheet already, or 1-1, sorry. But scores coming from all corners of the forward line.
There's another one. Ciara O'Sullivan firing that one over the bar. And this is more like the Cork that we have come to expect, and they look like they are gunning for an All-Ireland semi-final place. They've got their mojo back after the surprise defeat last week to Armagh. And they also have a few important players back. They have Hannah Looney back, they have Neve Cotter back, and they have made a big difference. Now, can Tyrone end the half with a little bit of impetus? Nope, they give it straight back to Cork, or rather Cork intercept. You have to give credit to Cork and Melissa Duggan, their way that they are intercepting and playing the game, and now bursting forward. And this is really more like the old Cork. Get it into O'Sullivan, and there's so much support. Coppinger is there, there's so many options for them, and Tyrone just can't seem to get the ball, and they haven't scored for a long time. They had a rather fortunate goal, but they haven't really created much in the last 15 minutes or so. We're now entering nearly the 34th minute. Of course, we had a long delay for an injury to McCarroll. And there's a free now for Cork. And there does seem to be a sense of inevitability about this All-Ireland quarter-final.
Tyrone looking very deflated now in the last 10 minutes. Slotting away 2 goals and, 4 maybe points in a row without reply is hard to, I suppose, put up with. There's another one for Orly Finn to slot it over from 3. For Tyrone to push on in the second half, they will have an awful lot to do. They did well having their 1-3 on the board, but you can just see the class coming through now for Cork.
It's going to be a huge effort required for Tyrone in the